I'm Linda, the Gracious Vegan, and this is my channel for sharing my plant-based recipes, tips, and tricks. And today I'm going to demonstrate how to roast cauliflower without oil. And I'm going to be chatting today with my niece, Megan. Hi, Megan.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We're going to jump right in, and I am going to first mix up the coating for the cauliflower, and then we'll fold in the cauliflower, put it on the pan, and take it from there. All righty, so we have a simple combination of tahini and water and spices. We use 5 teaspoons of water, 4 teaspoons of tahini, and tahini, of course, is crushed sesame seeds. Do you like tahini?
I do.
Really savory. I love the taste, nutty. And then garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and salt. So I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder. I will put this recipe in the description section. And then I loved smoked paprika. Have you been cooking more with smoked paprika these days?
I don't have any. I was cooking with it because my mom had it.
Yep.
And I looked in my pantry and I don't have it right now.
Oh, we need to get you some.
Yeah, my husband was like, I think it's pretty much the same. And I said, no, it's different.
Yes, it's definitely different. Yeah. And so I'm going to use about a half teaspoon salt, a scant half teaspoon salt, because we have a whole pound of cauliflower. And I use a little whisk to whisk it together because blending up the tahini and water, it almost is a little like oil and water, but you can get it emulsified pretty easily with a whisk. So that is our coating. That's our alternative to oil. And then we add the cauliflower florets. You know, sometimes you can buy bags of already prepped cauliflower. Doesn't work as well with frozen cauliflower. Doesn't really crisp up all that well when you roast it. And
it releases all that water. If your pan's crowded,
yes.
Every once in a while I pull out roasted cauliflower and I'm like, I steamed this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to get all that water from frozen cauliflower to evaporate. One key to this is to really fold it well so that as many surfaces get coated as possible, because that tahini helps get all the cauliflower nice and brown and crispy. So we have our coated cauliflower. And then we're going to use a sheet pan. I like to use either parchment paper or no paper at all. I have found that the silicone mats do not promote browning and crispiness. So I like to use parchment paper. It's so easy to clean. If you don't have parchment paper, I would just use straight the pan or foil. So if you want the brown and crispiness, then we spread it out here again, as you would with typical roasted vegetable recipes. It's nice if you make sure everything is in a single layer. That's going to promote the browning and the crispness. I like to turn some of these straight edges to the bottom because that's where most of the browning takes place, is on the whatever's contacting the parchment paper, to make sure I get as much browning as possible.
I love that the spices are already mixed in to the more liquidy part. Because when I cook with oil, which I'm trying to get rid of because of the health benefits and all of that, you know, when you just drizzle it on top and then shake it on top, you lose a lot of it onto the pan.
It's really true. And this way, you're only getting your mixture on the cauliflower because you're folding it in the bowl. Exactly.
Right. And even if you did that with, I've done that before with oil and spices, and the spices sink to the bottom. Even if I try to do it fat, like it's nice that it's all emulsified in one thing and then just on there. It looks great.
Yeah. And this combination is really savory with the smoked paprika and the garlic and the onion. It's really savory. You can taste it. Exactly. You could also add other spices. I like to do a sort of North African, it's called a tabile. combination. I leave what I've done here, and then I also add caraway seeds and coriander, and that's really good as well, plus some red pepper flakes or cayenne pepper. So you could add Italian herbs, you could add any combination, you could add sort of a curry vibe here. So as you say, you could do it with the coating, stir it into the coating, whisk that in, and then fold in your vegetables. And you can use this method for lots and lots of different kinds of vegetables, for potatoes, broccoli, for red peppers, for onions, butternut squash, anything from the hard winter squashes to the softer onions and bell peppers and everything in between. So this is an all-purpose kind of approach. And I have a guide on my site. I'll put it in the description for roasting all kinds of different vegetables without oil. The other trick here is I use a really hot oven. I use 450 degrees with convection. Convection usually sort of increases the effect of the heat because it's blowing the heat all over the oven like an air fryer. 450 with convection is a pretty hot oven. If your oven, my oven tends to run a little cool. So if you have a hot oven, I would recommend 425 with convection. If you don't have convection, that's okay. It may take a little longer, but I find that the higher heat helps get that browning, helps get those brown bits, and helps get that crispiness as well. Do you have convection on your oven? Have you tried it yet in your new place?
I actually don't know.
Okay, well.
I haven't explored my oven enough.
Yeah, you're so new there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm even looking. It doesn't look like I do, but I'll have to explore more. But we are thinking about getting an air fryer. So I could do my convection stuff in smaller batches that way.
Yeah. And this approach would work in an air fryer as well. I would use it with an air fryer that has a lot of real estate, a lot of surface room. And, you know, you can actually buy parchment paper with air fryers now. And so you can basically recreate a convection oven in your air fryer.
Totally.
Cauliflower usually in my oven cooks, it takes about 20 minutes, maybe 22 minutes. I always flip things after 15 minutes, see where we are, and then see how many minutes I need beyond that. So rather than wait for this batch to cook completely, I went ahead and made a batch earlier today. So ta-da, this is my batch of cauliflower without oil.
It's amazing how brown it gets without oil.
Without oil, you can totally get a nice brown color with some crispness. And you know, you're saving so much fat, you're saving a lot of calories. As you say, you're building in that flavor. So super, super good. And after we're done, I will roast that other batch and I will be in the pink with cauliflower.
Yum, that looks great.
Thanks for joining me, Megan.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for watching. Till next time, bye-bye.